Okay, so we're good to go now. We're good to go, right? So let's just go straight into the meeting. Like I said when I first spoke, yes, this meeting is going to be recorded. It's actually live on YouTube. So I would send you, we would share the YouTube. Sorry, just give me a second, please. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, so let's go straight ahead. Now I'm going to be sharing my slides. I'll be presenting for about 30 or 40 minutes or so. And after my presentation, I'll give you all the opportunity for Q&A. So you can ask your questions and I'll be available to answer those questions. Okay? So let's go straight ahead into it. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the Real Estate Millionaire Secrets webinar with the topic how to sell real estate properties consistently in 2024. So the purpose of this meeting, the purpose of this webinar is to train you, to teach you how to sell. And I'm not going to give you all the skills that are required to sell, but I'll give you some certain guidelines, some certain principles, some certain strategies that you can deploy. That if you deploy these strategies successfully, I can assure you that you are well on your way to improving your sales game in 2024. So that's what I am here to do for you today. So like I said earlier, this session will take about 45 to 50 minutes or thereabouts, maximum 1 hour. And I want to assure you once again, I'm going to emphasize this at the end of this session. I can guarantee that you would have gained so much value, right? And I also appreciate your feedback as well at the end of the session. Okay, so what are we talking about today? What are we going to be discussing today? First of all, we're going to discuss the sad realities of the real estate market. Now, there are certain realities in the real estate market, especially as regards realtors. A lot of realtors are not getting it right. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be looking at numbers and what is possible. So beyond looking at what the realtors are going through, we're also going to be looking at what is possible for realtors in the market. What can you achieve in terms of commission? What can you achieve in terms of foreign trips? What can you achieve in terms of car awards? What can you achieve from this business? And then after that, we'll go into the main session, which is what you are doing wrong and what I suggest you should be doing. What you're doing wrong and what I suggest you should be doing. And then finally, the solution. The solution, the plan that will take you from your current level to the level that you intend to be. So let's talk about the market realities. Now, in all honesty, from my own experience, and when I talk about experience, I'm talking about an experience that goes beyond the last 10 years. About 10 years. I started this business about 10 years ago, so I have quite a bit of experience. And I can tell you for free that an average realtor earns less than 100,000 naira a month. An average realtor earns less than 100,000 naira a month. As a matter of fact, a lot of realtors don't even earn any money. A lot of realtors are doing this business. They don't earn any income from this business. That is the harsh reality of the business. An average realtor only makes very little commission. Now, the interesting thing is that the real estate market in the country right now is a 59 trillion naira industry. So it's a very big market. It's a very big industry. It's a 59 trillion naira industry. And the average commission that is paid out is between 5 to 10 to 15%. But the interesting thing is that only 10%, only the top 10% realtors earn up to 80% of the results. So it's only a very few people that are making the big money. There's so much money in this market. Trust me, there is money. I have seen the money myself. I have made a lot of money from this business, and I can tell you for free that real estate is extremely lucrative. But it's only the top 10%. So what this essentially means is that the 80% of the total realtors in the market are actually battling for the remaining 10 to 20% of revenue. So it's a crowd mentality thing. 80% of the realtors in this industry is struggling to meet up to the 20% of revenue in this industry. So the question I'm going to ask you is, do you want to be amongst those top 10% that are making the bulk of the income? Or do you want to be among the 80% that is struggling for the crumbs? Your guess is as good as mine. Now, the average realtor hardly closes high-ticket transactions. So most realtors, even the ones that are making sales, you'll find out that the bulk of the realtors out there, and I'm talking from experience, all they do is they close deals of 1 million naira, 500,000, 700,000 naira deal, 2 million naira deal. So all these transactions that will not give you very much commission. That's what they can, that's all they know. And the reason why they close those kind of transactions is because they don't really understand how to close big ticket transactions. They don't understand how it is or how to talk to high net worth individuals. They don't understand how to speak to cooperatives, for instance. So most times they are not able to close large ticket transactions. So I'm going to be teaching you how to move from your current level where you're closing deals in the 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 millions. And you can start moving to closing deals of 50 million naira, 100 million naira and above. There are people out there that close deals in the billions, and I can show you how that is done. Again, another shocking statistic is the fact that 87% of realtors, and this is also coming from experience, quit in the first 6 months of the business. Why do they quit? They quit because they are either not making sales, or when they make sales, the sales only comes maybe once in every 3 months or once every 6 months. So they lose interest, they lose hope, and they just quit. Now, I do not want you to be among those realtors that quit this business in your first 6 months. That's why part of the reason why I'm organizing this webinar and also trying to train you is just so that you can understand that there is a lot of money to be made. The reason why you will not be making money is because you are doing certain things wrong. And I'm going to be showing you some of those things that you may be doing wrong and how you can correct them. Again, very, very surprising is the fact that many realtors fail because they are not just that they're not working hard enough, but they are not working smart enough. It's not so much about hard work. Of course, you need to work hard. There's no doubt about it in order to do well in this business. But it's not just about hard work. You also need to work smart. And I'm going to be teaching you some of those techniques that would enable you to work very smart in this business. Again, an average realtor does not save enough money. That's another very shocking statistic. An average realtor does not save or have enough money to save. They don't even have an emergency fund. So when things go bad, they don't have anything to lean on. Most realtors struggle in this business. That is the sad reality. Now, one of the reasons why realtors struggle is because realtors don't know how to generate quality leads. You see, the first thing you need to understand as a realtor is that you need to be able to generate leads in order to sustain your business, in order to grow your business, because it's the leads that you generate that you convert to prospects, and it's those prospects that you then convert to paying clients. But if you don't generate the leads in the first place, you cannot have prospects. And if you don't have prospects, you can't have paying clients. So it starts with leads. it is very unlikely that you go into a transaction and you just get a customer that just comes to your DM and says they want to buy immediately. No, it hardly ever happens. Most times it starts with a lead. Now, how do you generate those leads? Those are some of the things I'm going to be teaching you how to do. Again, most realtors don't even know where their audience is. They don't know how to get to their audience. They don't know how to position themselves in such a way that their audience are seeing them when they market their products. Now, positioning is very, very important in this business. It's not just so much about come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. Sometimes you need to be strategically positioned in order to sell. What do I mean by strategic positioning? What I mean is that, for instance, if you are you belong to a family where you have extended, maybe your relatives, for instance, some of them have cash to spend, they're looking for investments, they're looking for where to put their money. If you do not position yourself in such a way that these people, when they are talking about potential investments, you are the very first person that comes to mind. If you don't position yourself in that way, you just realize that opportunities are going to be passing you by. Opportunities are going to be passing you by. So you've got to learn how to position yourself in such a way that people that matter, people that have the money, they see you, they think about you. It might not be your relatives, it might be an old friend, it might be an old colleague, it might be a neighbor, it can be anybody. Positioning is extremely important when it comes to closing real estate transactions. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. There's also the good side of it. So it's not like everybody is struggling. Like I mentioned, there are the top 10 realtors that are doing extremely well. There are the bright stars and they are getting results. As a matter of fact, real estate deals are being closed on a daily basis. As I speak to you today, I'm sure there are people that are closing deals. So regardless of the economic challenges, regardless of the uncertainties, people are closing deals and they're earning 7-figure commissions on a daily basis. It is happening. I see it all the time because I run a real estate company in Lagos here, Nigeria, and I understand that realtors close mega deals. And you guys can also be among those realtors that close these deals. All you just need to do is just to listen to some of the things that I'm going to be telling you over the course of the next 30 minutes or so. And I can assure you that if you abide by some of the things I'm going to be sharing with you, you are well on your way to making the mega bucks. So let me start by sharing some testimonies of people that have latched onto my system, my proven system, that have latched onto my mentorship and my training and how well they're doing. Now, this guy, his name is Farouk Oyebanjo. He joined my team in 2015. He didn't know anything about real estate at the time. He came in as a customer. He bought one of the properties I was marketing. Came in as a customer. He followed my system with keen interest. Today, this guy makes so much money from real estate that he travels the world. That's him somewhere in New York in the USA. I think this picture was taken about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. And now he runs a real estate marketing agency and he makes so much money. He's a successful real estate entrepreneur. This guy, his name is Segun Babajide. He also latched onto my system, introduced him to real estate from a previous company. He wasn't making any sales in the first 1 year. And then I told him that, look, let me advise you, let me counsel you, let me show you how real estate is to be done. And he decided to take on my mentorship. And today, he is a very successful real estate entrepreneur as well. This is Juliet Anisuba. She was a model before she ventured into real estate. She came in as a novice. Today, she's a big salesperson. She closes deals regularly. Now, here you have Kukola Hafiz. He also started real estate several years. Interestingly, he didn't make any sales for the first 4 years. Today, he is a multiple award receiver. He has received so many awards in the same business of real estate marketing. How did he get there? He also came under my mentorship, he came under my guidance. I told him things he was doing wrong and the things I think he should be doing right. And today he's quite successful. Now, this is me. Let me do a very brief introduction. Now, I haven't always been where I am today. I haven't always been the real estate entrepreneur that you know today. I actually failed multiple times in my previous businesses. I went into some businesses, didn't do quite well, and I failed multiple times. But then someone introduced me into business of real estate marketing, and I discovered very quickly the things, the skills, the principles, and the strategies that the salespeople were doing. Because the kind of person I am is when I enter into any business, the very first thing I do is I try to understand the skills, the skill sets, the principles that guide success in that business. And so that's what I did. I realized that real estate was quite lucrative, but I didn't want to do things the way everybody else was doing it. So I said, let me look and just be observant and learn from those who were ahead of me. And I did that, and I was able to discover those secrets and those strategies. And I have been able to close several deals. As a matter of fact, last year alone, I closed deals worth over ₦1 billion. And this is not an exception. I've been doing this year after year after year after year. Today, I run a multi-billionaire real estate company, and I earn 7 figures on a monthly basis. Now, this is what's possible. This is me qualifying for a trip in Las Vegas in 2017. This is me and the rest of the qualifiers who went on this trip. Now, like I told you, I've gone to several countries. I'm just going to show you a few pictures of some of those trips that I've attended. This is me in Dubai, 2015. And this is Zanzibar. We went to this trip in Zanzibar, went on this trip in Zanzibar just a couple of months ago, November last year to be precise, and we had loads of fun. So these guys that you see in these pictures are people that some of them were under my mentorship as well. They did well, they made their targets, and they also qualified for the trip. Now, all of these things, I only just showed you just some clips or some pictures of some of the trips I've been to. I've been to so many other countries and I've received multiple awards, but those are just a few of the clips. And I want to assure you that some of these things are very, very possible if you understand the things that people who do real estate do. If you understand how they do their business, how they make their sales, the strategies they deploy, trust me, you too can be on your way to earning all of this income. So now let's go straight into it. What are the things that you are currently doing and what should you be doing better? So first and foremost, I think a lot of realtors out there, we don't plan our business. A lot of people just go into the business. There's nobody guiding them. There's nobody explaining things to them. So they don't plan. They don't have a plan. The very first thing you need to do as a realtor is ask yourself, what is my budget for the month? How much do I intend to spend in a particular month? Is it 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, whatever it is, you must have a budget. What I would personally recommend, if you can afford it, is that you spend at least 5,000 naira per day on your marketing. If you can afford it, at least 5,000 naira per day, because your marketing efforts have to be, you have to spend money, right? As they say, you use money to make money. So you have to spend money. At least 5,000. If you can afford more than 5,000, you can do 10,000. If it's 15,000, you can afford. Whatever it is that you can afford, try and have a budget. Just make sure you have a budget and then work towards it. Build on it as you make money. As you sell, you make a commission. Don't spend your commission. Reinvest your first commission into your business and use that commission to then grow your budget so that you can make more sales. One mistake a lot of new realtors make is that they make a sale and they get so excited, they just blow the money, they spend the money. And then they find themselves back in the square one. Don't do that. Take that money, put it back into your business and reinvest it into the business. Have a budget, work with that budget, and keep fine-tuning the budget. So if you do the budget for the first month and you realize that it's not quite meeting your objectives, then you can decide if you can afford it, you have more cash, you can increase the budget. Whatever it is, just have a figure that you are working with on a month-on-month basis. And then you come up with a marketing strategy. So what is that strategy? The strategy could be you want to do offline, right? Or you want to do online. Now, what works for you may not necessarily work for the next person, right? So there's really no hard and fast rule about it. It's you that knows what works. Some people are better with offline marketing. Some people are better with going for events and speaking at events. Some people are better with perhaps maybe distributing brochures to different companies or just, at the bus stops or whatever it is. Some people are good with billboards. It all depends, right? I'm better with online. So I've always been an online person. I do most of my marketing online. If you decide you want to do online, you've got to ask yourself, what sort of online strategy are you deploying? Do you want to do Facebook? and Instagram? Do you want to do LinkedIn? Do you want to do Twitter? Now, you've got to understand that whatever social media platform you are using, each of them, they have their own different nuances. They all have their own different things that work for each of them. So for instance, the kind of content you put out on Facebook and Instagram may not necessarily be the kind of content you should put out on Twitter. Facebook and Instagram are more visual oriented platforms. So if you're doing anything on Facebook or Instagram, you've got to ensure that it has visual appeal, like pictures, high quality pictures, high quality videos. That's what works on Facebook and Instagram. But Twitter is more of text. It's more of a text-based platform. So when you're doing your marketing on Twitter, you've got to ensure that it revolves around text. Now, LinkedIn is a totally different platform because LinkedIn is more for professionals. So if you're doing any content on LinkedIn, you've got to ensure that the content it has some professional touch to it. It has something that resonates with the audience. So it's not just about you just putting your videos. I see a lot of realtors, they go on LinkedIn and they're just posting videos. It's not really going to work for LinkedIn, for the LinkedIn audience. There has to be something that appeals to the people that typically go to LinkedIn. Be it maybe career-oriented content or something that celebrates a milestone, something that talks about your business, your story. All of those things have to be embedded in the content that you're sharing on LinkedIn. So you've got to understand that every platform has what sells on that platform. So don't just come up with a video and just share across board. You've got to understand what sells in each platform. TikTok, for instance, is an entertaining platform. It's where people go and do videos and come up with all sorts of funny content, skits and all that. So if you're going to do videos for TikTok, then you've got to ensure that it's got a lot of entertainment value to it. So you've got to understand what works for each platform and be organized. Be as organized as possible. Be consistent. So don't just post today and then we don't hear from you in the next 2 weeks. Or you post tomorrow, then you post again 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, or 1 month later. You're not going to get results that way. You've got to be consistent because it's not everything you post that people are going to like. It's not everything you post that people are going to comment on. It's not everything you post that is going to generate the engagements that you are seeking. But if you post high quality content on a consistent basis, the sales will eventually come. So you've got to be organized. One of the ways to be organized is to create a calendar or a schedule for the month to say, for this particular month, I'm going to be posting content every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm just giving an example. It doesn't have to be like that, right? If you can't do this yourself, you can get perhaps maybe a social media manager or a digital marketer to guide you on how these things work. But agree on a calendar, on a schedule for the month, right? What are you going to post on Monday? Okay, I'm going to post a banner. And on Wednesday, I'm going to post a video. On Friday, I'm going to post maybe a podcast or whatever it is. Just try and organize yourself around the content strategy that you have decided to deploy at any given point in time. So it's very important that you plan your business because this is the foundation of your business, the planning. Every other thing that you do is built upon the foundation of planning. If you don't plan properly, you are going to get everything else wrong. Trust me, planning is it's just like a foundation, the foundation of the building. If you don't get the foundation of the building right, whatever it is that you're going to put on the building is not likely to last. So that's why I'm spending so much time talking about planning. It's extremely important. And there's one tip I'd like to give new realtors, right? One of the things I'd like to tell someone who's just starting out as a realtor is you don't have to, especially if you don't have a large budget, you don't have to worry so much about posting all the time, right? At the first initial stage, maybe your first 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, what you should be doing at that point is trying to talk to your warm network. What's a warm network? A warm network are people that you know and people that know you, right? So your friends, your colleagues, your family members, people in your immediate circle, those are your warm network. Try and sell to those people because it's easier, a lot easier to sell to people you know than it is to sell to people you don't know. So one of the things I did when I started out as a realtor many years ago is I tried to sell to the people that I knew. And my first sale came from a colleague. not surprisingly. So the moment I was able to sell to that colleague, I made some commissions. I then used that commission. Just as I said earlier, I reinvested the commission into my business. And I was then able to I sold to a couple of other people that I know. And I was able to then launch out full time by doing my marketing, running sponsored ads, and the sales kept on coming. Now, branding is another very, very important part of this business. This is another area that people get wrong. A lot of realtors do not brand themselves. I go to a lot of Instagram pages and I see all sorts of content. There's no branding. There's nothing that says this is the person that is selling this property to me. I'm a middle-class person, right? And if I'm going to buy properties from anybody, I would like to know that the person has a brand. I would like to know that the person is someone that I can trust. And how can I trust you? You've got to have a proper brand. You've got to understand the importance of PR. PR is extremely important because before any prospect or any client buys from you, they buy any properties from you, they first of all have to buy you. So you are the main product, not even your property. Your property is really just a byproduct. You as a person is the main product. That's what they are buying. So if you're not positioning yourself or branding yourself as a trustworthy person, that whatever it is that you're selling, nobody's going to buy it because they're going to be scared. Remember, these people are already skeptical, especially the people in the diaspora. They are already skeptical about realtors. They're already skeptical about doing business in Nigeria because of the risk, because people have been scammed. So the last thing they want to do is to go and invest in someone whose character looks questionable. And how do you convince them that your character is not questionable? Is by creating a brand that actually sells. So there are certain things you need to have on your page. For instance, you go to your bio. Your bio has to be well done. Don't just put realtor, I'm into real estate. I sell houses, I sell land. No, that's not enough. You've got to brand yourself. If you've won any awards, for instance, you put those awards there. If you've achieved anything, put your achievements there. Have you sold? Maybe you've sold properties worth 500 million, 2 billion, 3, whatever it is that you've achieved, put it in your bio. That's the first thing they see when they go to your page. Don't just put anything on your bio. Your bio is very important because a lot of people, when they go to anybody's page, it is the bio that they see there that already informs them about what this person is all about. Now, beyond your bio, do you have a color scheme? Or is it just any color that you have on your social media pages? Do you have a color scheme? Do you have a way you organize your content? What is the quality of your content? Do you position yourself as an authority in real estate, or you just position yourself as someone who is just out there to sell property so you can get your commission? No. High net worth individuals, middle class people, they don't want to buy from you because you're going to earn a commission. They want to buy from you because they feel you have an understanding of the business that they don't have. So you've got to position yourself as an authority. Don't just go out there and just start listing out your products like as if you are selling food items in the market. No. You've got to understand that these guys, they want to see you as someone who is an expert. For instance, one of the things that I've done is I wrote a book on investments. The book is called The Smart Investor's Guidebook. Now, that book, the reason I wrote that book is not because I want to make money from the book. How much can I possibly make from the book that I'm not making from real estate already? It wasn't so much because I wanted to make money, right? I'm not saying the money is not important, but the major reason I wrote the book is because I wanted to brand myself as an authority, and it has helped me because there are certain clients that have bought from me on the strength of the fact that I have written a book on investments. Because what that means is that to write a book on investments, you must be an expert in investments. You must be an authority. So you don't have to write a book, but do whatever it is that you think you can do to create that feeling that you're an expert in the business that you run. So you've got to develop a reputation as a go-to person. Like I said earlier, when your family members or your friends are discussing amongst themselves, who is the best person to help us get a property in XYZ place, your name should be the first on the list. How do you develop that reputation? By building your brand, by investing in PR. Now, wrong targeting is one area that people miss they miss it, especially realtors. They miss it in the area of targeting. So when you're running an ad, please, if you are not an expert in digital marketing, give your ad to someone who understands digital marketing, who understands how to run ads, who understands how to use ads manager. In fact, I always advise use ads manager instead of just boosting a post on Instagram or boosting a post on Facebook. Your targeting is very critical. There are certain skills that are required for you to go to target certain people. For instance, you want to target high net worth individuals, HNIs. There are certain ways you do it. You don't just go and post and then you just say, oh, just target anybody. No, you've got to target the people, because not everybody can buy your products. Not everybody can invest in real estate. It's a capital intensive product. It's not like biscuits or sweets that everybody can afford, or food items that most people can afford. Real estate is only it's only certain people that can afford real estate. So you've got to understand how to target those people. How do you target Nigerians living abroad? How do you target the highly mobile middle income class? For instance, people that are bank managers, people that are managers working in the likes of Mobile, in the likes of maybe MTN, Airtel, places like that. How do you target those people? Target cooperatives. In fact, one of the ways to make big income in this business, target cooperatives. You can write letters. Do you have any friend that works in a big multinational company? You can ask that person to link you up with the HR or someone, maybe the president or the vice president of their cooperatives. Because if you're able to get cooperatives on your side, what that means is that you can then use the head of that cooperative to get their members to buy into a scheme. And then those members start paying a certain amount every month into a central account. And then that central account, they then remit those monies into the company you're marketing for. So you could be seeing bulk monies coming in every month from a cooperative. Imagine you have the account of, say, maybe Shell Cooperative, and they have, I'm just giving an example, they have 100 members, and you're able to market to that cooperative. Let's even say 50 of them decide that they want to invest in the property and marketing. So imagine 50 people paying a certain amount of money every month into the company that you're marketing. That's a lot of commission that comes to you. So you've got to learn how to target these people. Now, running ineffective social media ads is also another place that people miss it. Your ads have to be effective. Like I said earlier, if you can't use ads manager yourself, get someone who is an expert in digital marketing to either teach you or to do it yourself, themselves for you on your behalf. Your own job is not so much to learn how to use some of these platforms or tools. Your job really as a realtor is to learn how to convert. Remember, I said that the funnel is to convert leads, to generate leads, convert the leads to prospects, and then convert the prospects to paying clients. So you've got to understand how to use social media effectively to run ads. Ensure that you create a compelling sales page that can convert. So I see a lot of people making mistakes. They just do an ad on social media and then they just direct the ad straight to WhatsApp, right? I don't do that. The reason why I don't do that is that a lot of the time you find out that even when you're generating leads, you're not generating quality leads. Remember, the point is not to generate leads alone, but to generate quality leads. You don't want to be generating leads and those leads are not converting. You want to generate leads that are quality, of a certain minimum quality. Now, that's the purpose of a landing page. So when you do your ads, the ads will direct the prospects or the leads to a landing page or a sales page where it provides further information and it filters those leads. It qualifies the leads because it's going to be asking them certain questions. For instance, a landing page could possibly ask, what's your monthly income, or can you afford a 5 millionaire property? Or, there's certain questions that would be inserted in that landing page that would help you, that would help qualify those leads, so that when those leads eventually get to you, they are already qualified, and it's then easier for you to then convert those leads to prospects. So you've got to ensure that beyond having a landing page, you also have a functional website where you display all your products. Now, not just functional, but the website must also look very good. It must be of a certain minimum quality, because those are some of the things that people that you're targeting, those are some of the things they look out for. So your website must be functional. You must have a landing page that provides all the details and qualifies your prospects, and ensure you carry out effective retargeting. Now, what's retargeting? Retargeting is a situation whereby you do an ad, and then after the person has clicked on the ad, even if they're not buying from you, they go back to social media, or they go back to some other websites, and they see that ad replaying over and over and over again, right? So the chances are that even if someone doesn't decide to call you or contact you upon seeing your ad, there's a high chance that when they see that ad being played twice or 3 times or 4 times within the space of maybe 24 hours, there's a very high chance that they might just think of, okay, let me, I've seen this ad so many times, maybe I should call whoever it is that is behind the ad. Now, this is very, very important. And this is where a lot of realtors are missing it. We do not develop beneficial relationships. The reason why this is very important is you don't even need to spend money to get this right. You don't need to spend money to develop relationships. Developing relationships is one of the ways through which you can make millions of naira every month. We are not developing beneficial relationships. You have to be deliberate about the relationships you develop. Extremely deliberate. Don't make friends with just about anybody. At this stage of your life, you should be thinking of who are the people that I should be associating myself with in order to meet my objectives. There are people out there that you know, but because you have not been deliberate about creating a relationship with those people, you are not leveraging on the fact that you know those people. So you've got to be deliberate. In fact, if possible, write the names of people within your network that you know are capable of buying properties from you. Write their names down and start to talk to them, start to develop. Now, I'm not saying write their name and just start calling them. That's not the best way to do it. Don't just call them and say, oh, I have land in so and so, will you buy? No, that's wrong. You write their names down and then you start to find out ways through which you can then become friends with these people, deepen your relationship with them. And then in the course of having that friendship, you can then start to market to them gradually. That's how you build relationships that are beneficial. So it's not direct, it's not a direct approach where you just go and meet them and you start selling. No, create that rapport, create that relationship, make them feel comfortable with you. Okay? Because the more comfortable these people feel with you, the more you are able to leverage the KLT factor. There's something called KLT, know, like, and trust. People tend to buy from people that they know, they tend to buy from people that they like, and they also tend to buy from people that they trust. The only way you can get someone to trust you is by being friends with the person, by being open with the person, and by ensuring that you develop a relationship with the person so that that trust is embedded in that relationship. Other ways through which you can create relationships is by attending events. A lot of us don't attend events. You've got to be deliberate, regardless of your personality type. I know some of you will say, oh, well, I don't like going out. You've got to be deliberate about going out sometimes. You've got to be deliberate about meeting people on social media. Even if you don't want to attend physical live events, you can meet people on social media. You can meet people at events, at online events, but you've got to be out there. If you want to ensure that you have relationships that matter, you've got to be out there. Now, another thing we don't do is we don't generate repeat business. You don't just sell a product to a customer and walk away. That's wrong. That's not, you're not leveraging that relationship. Repeat business is the place where you can make bulk money. Why do I say this? Because sometimes you're not going to make sales from your regular marketing efforts. So how do you then generate sales? You generate sales from people. There are people, if someone buys from you and you treat them well, there's a very, very high chance, at least 60% chance, that that person is going to come back to buy from you. But if you don't treat that person well, you don't follow up on their experience, you don't create an experience. So the first thing you need to do is to create an experience with the person. You're not just selling a product, you are trying to create an experience with that person. Make the person feel happy that they chose to work with you or they chose to do business with you. Give the person an experience that they would never forget. How do you do that? Make the person your friend, make the person your ally. Call them when you can. When they are celebrating their birthdays, send them a cake if you can. Call them. Do a flyer for them. Do a video. Make them feel glad. that they are doing business. I do that a lot. My clients, they know me. When they are doing their birthdays, for instance, or they are doing something, maybe their children are graduating from school, whatever it is, I send them stuff. I send them videos. I do flyers for them. I just make them feel happy, emotionally happy to be doing business with me, because you've got to hit them at that emotional point where they just feel so drawn to you. It's not just about, okay, well, I sold a plot of land or a building or an apartment or a house to this person, and once that deal is closed, that's the end. That's the last time we hear from you. You are leaving money on the table by doing that. So you've got to create value as much as possible. And then, obviously, like I said, create an irresistible offer to clients. If you're able to negotiate a discount, for instance, I know clients like discounts. So if you're able to negotiate a discount, the client knows that you have their intentions at heart and they like it, they appreciate it. And the more you're able to create, it might not be a discount, it might be maybe an extended payment plan, for instance. If you're able to do that, negotiate with the company you're working with and create those experiences, trust me, those clients are likely to do business with you over and over again. Now, not understanding the language of the rich is another area that people miss it. Now, what do I mean by the language of the rich? You see, the rich people, there's a certain way they speak, there's a certain way they talk, there's a certain way they walk, there's a certain way they do business. It's not like the average person out there. They like to associate them with themselves because they understand their, quote unquote, their language, their demeanors, their behavioral patterns, their dispositions, all of these things. You've got to understand how these things work. How do you understand how the rich people behave and work? By associating with them, by being observant. You've got to be very observant. So when you attend the function and you have people who are at a certain class around you, you've got to be observant. How do they speak? How do they talk? What are the kind of things they talk about? Don't just go there and just feel, oh, these guys are at a certain level that are much higher than my own level, so I'm not likely to be able to ever break into their circles. No, who says you can't break into their circles? Even if you don't have as much money as they do, there are certain ways you can speak to them in such a way that they embrace you. They see you as part of them. And that way you're able to then break into those circles and do business with them. One of the ways through which you can also break into the circles of the rich is by speaking with authority. Now, this borders on product knowledge. This borders on understanding the business that you're running. So if you are a realtor, you don't understand, for instance, the technicalities in real estate. You don't understand titles. Someone wakes you up in the morning and they say, explain what an excision is. Explain what a governor's consent is. Explain the process for getting approvals. Or how do you prevent a company or an individual from having their houses demolished by the government? If you cannot answer these questions with authority, then you have a lot of work to do. Because rich people, high net worth individuals, they want to ensure that whoever it is that is their realtor, those people understand the business inside out. So when you speak with them, you have to speak with authority, not the one that they're talking to you and your voice is shaking or you're stammering, you're stuttering. No. You've got to speak with someone who understands, like someone who understands their business. That way, they feel more confident dealing with you. Now, not following up effectively is a big problem for a lot of people. There are skills through which you follow up. You don't just follow up anyhow. The kind of relationship you have with your prospects or with your clients should determine the way you follow up. For instance, if you just met someone online for the first time, I would advise that you give the person enough space. So if you just met the person and the person is a prospect, they want to buy from you, you can give the person, say, maybe 3 days, 4 days, because most people are not going to buy on first contact. You have to follow up with them a number of times. I would recommend at least 3 to 4 days, at the very least, for following up with people who you are not very conversant with. But if it's someone that is your friend, your very good friend or a family member, there are really no rules per se. You can even follow up the next day, right? Because remember, these people know you, so they're not likely to get angry or they're not likely to see you as someone who's being desperate because you're following up too often, right? So you could follow up the next day or maybe at most, maybe every 2 days, for instance. Okay, so it all depends on the relationship you have. But whatever it is that you're doing, ensure that you do not sound desperate, because one of the ways through which you can chase prospects away is when you sound desperate, when you sound like, oh, you just want to make a sale, you want to make a sale, you want to make a sale. And I know it's very tempting to want to call them all the time or to want to send them messages, but you've got to understand that you need to give them their space. You don't want to sound like a pest, okay? And then when you're sending your reminders, don't just go straight to the point and just, oh, that land that you said you want to buy, how far? No, don't go direct. You've got to find a way to be a little bit subtle in the way you send your reminders. You can even start by just talking about something totally unrelated to the property you're marketing to them. Create a rapport. Remember, I said earlier that it's all about the relationships, all about the rapport. So create a rapport, start a conversation, talk about something else, and then maybe in the middle of the conversation, you can then find a way to bring in whatever it is that they are trying to market to them. Okay, so you've got to understand that clients don't like to be bogged down. They don't like to be reminded too often, or they don't like to make it seem like as if all you're interested in is your commission. You've got to be indirect when you're marketing or when you're following up with them. But then also create an urgency, a sense of urgency with these prospects as well. So while you're trying to be indirect and you don't want to sound like as if you are bugging them all the time, you also want to create some urgency so that they don't procrastinate, because most people like to procrastinate. So give them deadlines. Tell them that if you don't buy within a certain period, this would happen, that would happen, and all of that. So it's all about creating a balance between not sounding too desperate, but also trying to create a sense of urgency. Now, there's so much to talk about regarding follow-up, and it's a topic that I can still train later on subsequently. I can't deliver on that fully today, but over time, I'm sure there'll be opportunities for me to discuss a bit more about this issue of following up. Now, content marketing is very, very critical. So when you're doing your content marketing on social media, you've got to ensure that you come up with quality scripts, captions, emails, newsletters. It's got to be up to at a certain minimum quality level. I see people on Instagram, for instance, they're doing videos. Those videos, they use phones that the cameras are not very good, for instance. You don't do that. If you're going to do a video, ensure that your video, the quality of the video is at a certain minimum level. I personally would recommend that you use DSLR cameras, but if you cannot afford DSLR cameras, use your phones, but your phones must be minimum. There's a certain minimum standard that those phones must be before you can. If you don't have a good phone, get a phone from a friend or someone and ensure that you use video, your content is of a certain minimum quality. There are certain pages that if I was a prospective client and I go to a certain page and I see the quality of their videos, I won't even bother calling the person. Even if I was interested in that product, I won't bother calling. I'll be put off totally just by looking at the quality of the content. The quality of your captions also matter. If you're doing email marketing, what are the things that you put into your emails? Those things are very important. Content marketing is extremely important. And avoid excessive use of flyers. So I see a lot of people using flyers all the time. You go to their page, all you just is flyer from start to finish. No, mix it up a bit. Try and provide educational value, educational content. Try and teach. This also borders on you also creating that whole branding narrative to show people that you are not just someone out there to sell, but you're also trying to educate people on how to, for instance, invest, the skills to invest, how to cope in an economy like Nigeria, the Nigerian economy, how to grow your wealth, all of these things. So you can think of different topics, try and mix your content. So I'm not saying everything should be educational. Obviously, you want to sell, you want to put your market out, your products out there, but try and create a bit of a blend between your educational content and your promotional content. And you can also do some inspirational, motivational content as well. So just create a bit of a mix so that your page looks interesting. For instance, if you go to my own page, my handle is, my Instagram handle is iam.bamidee, iam.bamidee. If you go to that page, you realize that I have a lot of educational content there. So I do my ads, I post my products and all that once in a while, but I do a lot of more of educational content because I'm so much invested in branding, personal branding, because I believe that is one of the areas through which I can attract HNI clients and attract middle class clients as well. So it shouldn't just be marketing all the time. Try and do a bit of promotional content, a bit of educational content as well. And now technology, finally, technology is very important. We need to leverage technology. There are so many technologies out there. There are platforms where you can go and download apps that can make your work a lot easier. There's ChatGPT, for instance, that you can use for generating captions. So you don't have to compose your captions all the time by yourself, especially if you're in a hurry. You can just go to there are AI, artificial intelligence apps that you can use to generate very, very good captions that you can add to your other content, your videos and your flyers and things like that. And if you have clients in the diaspora, they can't come to Nigeria, they don't have people in Nigeria who can do inspection for them. There are certain technologies that you can use to perhaps get them to inspect the properties even remotely. For instance, there's virtual reality, there's this technology that you can use that would navigate an entire property from any location. So there are certain tools and there are certain equipment that can be used to do that. So you've got to understand that we're in a technology age, we're in the technology age right now. So there are certain things that people are doing out there that they're using to create that extra, have that extra edge over their peers or over other realtors. So you've got to try as much as possible to leverage technology. It has worked for me, and I know it will work for you as well. Okay, so having said all this, this is really what I'm providing to you as the solution to whatever it is that you are trying to achieve in this business. Okay, so it's called the Ace the Game Sales and Marketing Masterclass. It's going to be featuring 4 speakers. That's me, myself. I'm going to be the host. And then you have Paul Fo, who is a TEDx speaker, coach and trainer. You have Ezekiel Shulisi, John Obidi. We're having 4 intensive online sessions with Q&A, 4 intensive sessions with Q&A, and an opportunity to meet new people, collaborate, make friends, network. The faculty is going to be handled by some of the most notable, those guys that I mentioned, Paul Fo, John Obidi, Ezekiel Shulisi, are some of the most notable speakers in the industry, and I'm very, very confident in their ability to deliver significant value. And there are so many other bonuses that will come with it. Okay, so some of the things you're going to be learning from this program is you're going to be learning how to become a real estate marketing superstar. Developing some of the things I've talked about today, you've got to learn, but you're going to learn so much more. In fact, what I've spoken about today is only about 10%. Trust me, it's only about 10% of the things that you need to learn as a real estate marketer, as a realtor in Nigeria, right? The remaining 90% you're going to learn from this program. Okay, so you learn how to create content for real estate, how to build an effective network. Remember, I spoke about networking, and how to track your performance so you can have repeat business. Some of the other things you learn is how to increase your sales conversion rates, how to increase your sales conversion, how to scale your business, your real estate business, the art of thinking big. The very first step as a new realtor, you've got to think big. Think big. That's where it all starts from, because you cannot outdo your level of thinking. Right? How do you get motivated to do things? How do you speak the language of the rich? All of these things will be shared by the speakers over the course of the next 1 or 2 months. Another thing you're going to learn is you're going to learn simple but highly effective ways to get referrals and repeat business. There are 4 referral factors that you will learn about, how to get referrals. There are 4 factors that, when understood and applied, it will dramatically increase your odds of successfully getting referrals. So you're going to learn all these things. You're going to learn the simple secrets to closing big tickets, high ticket transactions with high net worth individuals. I've spoken about some of these things, but there are so many other things that we're going to be training you on that will ensure that you position yourself in such a way that you start to earn 7-figure incomes. Now, there are certain skills, so many other skills. There's the AIDA principle, for instance. I don't know how many of you have heard about the AIDA principle. That's the AIDA. Attention, interest, desire, and action, right? You're going to learn what the AIDA concept is all about. How do you create attention-grabbing headlines? How do you, from attention-grabbing headlines, how do you then create interest in the minds of your prospects? How do you then transfer that interest or transform the interest to a desire, to a burning desire, by creating an emotional offer. And then how do you then get them to take action? All of those things will be taught by all our speakers. Now, let's do a quick run through of the bio of the speakers. You have Mr. Paul Fu. He's a TEDx speaker, like I said. He started off selling recharge cards on the streets. Today, he's one of the most sought after sales coaches in the industry. That's him. And he writes, he's a member of the Forbes Business Council, and he has written over 200 articles for Forbes. Now, Ezekiel Shulisi, that's him. He's also a member of the Forbes Business Council. He's a business strategy consultant. He's worked with over 2,400 SMEs. He's helped clients improve their revenues significantly from multi-million naira levels to multi-billion naira levels. Okay. And he also works as an executive business coach for quite a number of A-list entrepreneurs. John Obidi, I'm sure some of you might know him. He needs no introduction. He's a highly sought after consultant, he's an international speaker and personal development trainer. Very, very skilled, visionary. He's a phenomenal person. He's a resourceful person, someone I know personally. He's received multiple awards. In 2018, he won the Future Awards Africa Prize for New Media. And in 2020, he was voted as amongst the 100 most influential Nigerians. He's the founder of Headstart Africa, a community boasting over 170,000 business and career professionals. So he's a great guy, He's done speaking engagements in several countries and continents, like countries like Brazil, United Arab Emirates, Ghana, Zambia, Rwanda, and of course, Nigeria. So what will this program help you achieve? It will help you achieve your ad budget, reduce your ad budget, beg your pardon. It will also help you develop rewarding relationships like I spoke about earlier. It will help you earn more money. That's the end game. You want to earn more money. It will help you earn more money through increased sales, and to also help you become a bigger brand in the real estate industry. All of these things will be achieved. Just think about what you can do with an extra 1 million naira, at least minimum 1 million naira hitting your bank account on a monthly basis. This is very, very possible. It's happened to me, it's worked for me, and I know it can work for you as well. Now, what's the cost of this program, right? Some of you will be thinking, is this program free? No, it's not free. It comes at a cost. Now, I'm not going to charge, ideally I could charge 150,000 or even more, because to attend any of the programs from any of these guys, Paul Fu would not charge anything less than 100,000. John Obidi will not charge anything less than 100. Same thing with Ezekiel Shulisi. But I will not charge 150,000. I'm not charging 100 or even 70,000. No, I'm not charging that. Now, the cost is, we have two categories. We have the VIP category, which is going for 40,000 naira. And we have the VVIP, which comes with extra benefits. That is going for 60,000 naira. But there's a catch. There's a catch to it. I'm offering a 24-hour discount period. A 24-hour discount period. If you pay within the next 24 hours, you get the VIP program for 25,000. That's a 15,000 naira discount. And the VVIP program for 40,000. That is if you pay between now and 11:59 tomorrow night. You'll get it at this rate. Now, there's a mega bonus I'm also introducing. So in addition to all of those 4 training sessions, you are also going to get my online course that consists of about 12, 13 modules that talks about everything. I packaged the course that we launched about 2-3 years ago on real estate marketing that talks about every single thing real estate, from planning your business to generating leads to correct targeting to generating repeat business, referrals, every single thing, HNI, how do you target HNIs, all of that, every single thing is in this marketing course. You would also get this for free, only if you subscribe to the VVIP, right? Just for the VVIP, not for the VIPs. If you're a VVIP candidate, you get this marketing course absolutely free of charge. And of course, you also gain 3 months access to my support. So I have a support group that I've created where we'll be posting tips, updates regularly. It's on WhatsApp, so you get access to that group on a regular basis. We post our products, we post motivational content, we post training content, post links to resources that you can go and learn about real estate marketing. So that group is very active. You'll also get access to it. And then finally, if you are a VVIP member, you also get access to my marketing team, to me, and also my marketing team, right? And if you're going to get access to me, you get one-on-one access to me for the next 3 months, right? If you're a VVIP member. Okay, so that's what's contained on this slide. VVIP member, you get personal coaching from me on a one-on-one basis for the next 3 months. Okay, so this is a summary of what you get from both plans. Like I said earlier, VIP, you have access to all 4 trainings and also access to the team membership benefits. But VVIP, you get all the benefits of VIP. That's access to the 4 trainings, access to general team member benefits, one-on-one coaching and mentorship from me. So we can organize Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, and then I'll look into your business, you ask questions, I'll answer your questions, you know, for the next 3 months. And of course, you have access to my online course on real estate marketing. Okay, so if you're interested in this opportunity, these are the payment details. You can either go online to bamiadewale.com/ATP and make a payment there, or you could decide you want to make a transfer directly to me. Those are my account details there. You can take a snapshot of this page and make your payment and then send evidence to me. That's my phone number right there. Okay. So the price goes up. Remember, the price goes up from Monday morning, 12 midnight tomorrow. The price goes up back to 40,000 naira for VIP and 60,000 naira for VVIP. Trust me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. There's money, 100% money back guarantee, right? 100% money back guarantee. If you don't meet your targets, if you don't experience an increased income or increased level of revenue in your business, trust me, there's a money back guarantee on this. That's how confident we are regarding what we're offering to you. Okay, so with this, I hereby come to the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So the way the question and answer is going to go is, if you have questions, you can indicate by raising your hand, and either myself or Dipo, who is a co-host, will then unmute you, and then you can ask a question, and we can then take it from there. Okay, I hope you all got value from this session. I hope you all gained something from this session. And yeah, so you can ask questions right away. Thank you. Can I get a recording? Yes, someone is saying, yes, you will get a recording. We'll send a link, the YouTube link, after this to the WhatsApp group. I believe you're all on the WhatsApp group, so we'll send the YouTube link to you all so you can have the recording live and direct. Okay, so do you have any questions? Anybody with any questions, please feel free, raise your hands, and you'll be unmuted and we can answer your questions. What's my Instagram handle? Dipo, can you please post my Instagram handle? Some people are asking for my Instagram handle. They want to follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you can follow me on Instagram. That's fine. So you could also learn the kind of things that I post on Instagram that has been helping me attract people, high net worth individuals who come to my DM. Like I said earlier, I post a lot of educational content. So you want to see some of the things that I post. It's I am dot. There's a dot, not I am Bamidi. I am dot Bamidi. So please, Dipo, correct that. It's I am dot Bamidi. There's a dot between I am and Bamidi. Okay. Ademola Adegayi, you have a question. I can see your hand up. I'll ask you to unmute now. So you can unmute and ask a question.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And thank you so very much for the
Let me put on my
lectures.
so
I am truly blessed. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. God really bless you. I want to ask, for the VVIP, how much is the subsidized rate? I didn't actually get that.
40,000 from 60 to 40.
Okay. Then the VIP is you said 25. Am I right?
25.
All right.
Yes. Yes, 25.
All right.
Dipko, please, can
Thank
you
you
post
very much.
you're welcome, on the comments, can you post the different packages and their prices, and you can also post my account details for people who want to pay. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? If you have a question, please raise your hand. Don't raise your hand in the comments, raise your hands on the participants list so I can see you and you can ask a question. Any other questions from anybody? Okay, Kingsley, I can see your hand up. You can go ahead and ask your question, Kingsley.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Kingsley.
All right. My question is that since we have a VIP and VVIP, most of us are just newly in this industry. Like I myself, I'm barely 1 month in this industry. Is there no any other like regular participants that we can afford to join than being exclusive of that VIP? That is my question, sir.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lower package. The lowest package we have is the VIP package, and it's actually even subsidized. The reason I subsidize it is because I realize that not everybody can afford 40 or 60. So I'm giving opportunities to those who can afford 40 or 60 to pay 25 and 40 between now and the end of tomorrow. But we don't have any plan that is less than 25. Okay? Temisa, I can see your hand up. Go ahead and ask a question.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Temisa.
Yeah, so I actually want to ask about the section. So is that going to be like how will I get maybe like a certificate or something at the end of the section, or it's just like a normal one-on-one or like a normal training like we just had now?
No, it's going to be a very organized training. We're going to have several sessions. We're going to have 4 different sessions, right? And at the end of the training, yes, we can give certificates. That's not a problem. Giving out certificates is not a problem. We can issue certificates to all participants. Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay. I have, this is a number, I don't know what the person's name is, 8973059967. I've unmuted you. You can ask a question. Hello? Are you there? Okay, if that's not working, I'll go to the next person. Okay, go ahead and ask a question.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, we really appreciate your season with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. My question is, when we can't make the payment, is there any other way to make the payment? As in,
I don't
we can't
understand that. What do you mean?
I say, if we can't meet up with the payment for tomorrow, can we make it as early as possible on Monday?
You know what? You have to send me a message on that WhatsApp. I can't answer that question now. We try not to give extensions, but if you send me a message on WhatsApp, do you have my WhatsApp number?
Yes, I have a WhatsApp number.
Okay, so just send me a message. I will see if there's anything I can do about that. But for now, the deadline is tomorrow, please. Tomorrow night.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Someone is asking where and when. All the sessions will be held on Zoom. All the sessions will be held on Zoom. Okay. So it's all going to be done online. Part of the reason is because most of our speakers are not based in Nigeria. They are based abroad, right? But of course, with technology now, your location doesn't really matter. But they are all going to be done on Zoom. I have Peter. Peter, you want to ask a question? Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hi. Good evening.
Go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're
I'm just
welcome.
asking, people like us that are interested, but they don't have the stated amount right now. So is it possible for you guys to make it available or make it possible for us to pay in installments For example, let's say 3 parts payment. We pay 1 part today, pay 1 part maybe next week, and you understand. This will really help people like us that are new
Again, that kind of
business.
that kind of question, I can't answer that here. I can only answer if you speak to me privately, and I can see what I can do, right? But I don't want to give any response here that I'm not sure would cut across everybody. So everybody's situation is different. So you can always send me a message on WhatsApp, and I can then attend to it.
Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this
You're welcome.
opportunity.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay, Kester, you've been raising your hand for a while. You can go ahead and ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
My question is this, because I just want to know, confirm, is it that we are going to get those properties from other real estate companies, or you are teaching us to start our own real estate company, sir?
No, I'm not teaching you how to start your own real estate company. I'm only teaching you how to market. And by the way, I have a real estate group that I run for my company's product. So if you want to be a member of that group, you can also send me a private message. You don't have to be part of this paid program, right? But if you're a member of the paid program, the benefit you get is that you won't have to pay the registration fees for my platform. Okay, that would be free of charge. But if you're not a paid candidate for this program, you would have to pay the registration fees. But I have a group that I run that we also share tips and updates and things like that. So if you want to be a member of that group, you can also send me a message. So we're not teaching you on how to set up your own real estate company. We're only teaching you about how to market. Okay? So that's what it's all about. So teaching you how to market. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. I have Samsung SME 135F. Go ahead and ask a question. Hello? Samsung SM1A135F. Are you there?
Hello.
Okay, I can see the payments are coming in already. So a couple of people are already making payments. I hope you all have the account details. If you don't, please refer to the group, the charts, and you'll see the account details there. You can make your payments. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I really appreciate your kind gesture holding this program. I've really gained value. So thank you very much. My question is how many days is this program going to be? And then is it going to be virtual or is one-on-one program?
No, it's virtual. Like I said earlier, they are all going to be done on Zoom. So we're going to have 4 different sessions on 4 different days. The days will be announced later. The dates for each session will be announced later. When you make your payments, you'll be added to a WhatsApp group only for paid candidates. So on that WhatsApp group, I'll be providing updates regarding the dates of each session. So for instance, my own session, the date will be announced. For the session of Konfu, the date will be announced. The session for Obidi, the date will be announced. The session for Ezekiel Solushi, the date will be announced as well. So every speaker has a different date, and those dates will be announced on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. So one more last question. What's the month like? What month are we looking at? Is it this February or March?
We are likely to start either later. The month is already, today is the 17th. Likely late February or early March. We should start our first session. Okay. The date has not been decided upon yet. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. You're welcome. Karen, your hand is up, so please go ahead and ask a question, Karen.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for today's training. Okay, I have a question. I actually have 2 questions, and I'll be fast with it. The first one is someone that lives outside the country, outside Nigeria. Can the person run real estate in Nigeria? Can the person be productive running real estate from outside the country? Sorry, I'm just coming from work, so I'm panting. And the second question is, okay, I'm a flight attendant. So the time that you might fix for a training, I might be on board. So, and I want to run the training. So how do I cover up
that's not a problem. Let me answer this. Let me answer the second question first. It's not a problem. All training sessions will be recorded and the links will be shared on the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. So even if you can't join us live, you can also get the recording.
Okay.
Now the first question is about whether you can market from anywhere in the world. Yes, I have team members that are based in the US that are marketing. They're doing very well. I have team members based in the UK. I have team members based in different parts of Europe, Asia. They are marketing. A lot of marketing is done online nowadays. You don't have to be physical. Of course, being physically present helps. Don't get me wrong. It helps a lot because you can always take your clients on inspection. You can meet with the company, meet with their management, negotiate deals. But the fact that you're not physically present should not be an impediment. You can market and sell properties from absolutely any location in the world.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome. I hope you're subscribing to the program. Okay. Since you've Karen, are you still there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. Are you subscribing? Are you going to be part of the program?
Yes, I want to be part of it.
Okay, great. Okay, so you have between now and tomorrow to pay the lower amounts.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you.
Then. You're welcome. Okay, so I hope you all got value. If you got value, please say yes, I did. Yes, I did. I got value. Let me see that in the comments, please. Let me know that you got value from today's session. Great. Thank you so much, Agatha, Manuel, Leo. Yeah, it's being recorded. We'll share the link very soon. Yeah, BD, thank you so much. Okay, great. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you all got value. You all got value. And I want to encourage as many of you as possible to subscribe. We need to have a robust enough. We already have people are already making payments. I've seen a couple of alerts. As I was speaking, I saw some alerts that came into my account. Okay, so you want to ensure that you subscribe to the paid plan, right? So you can get access to the 4 sessions. What I just gave you today is just like I said earlier, 10% of what they require to be a successful real estate professional. Okay, it's just 10%. The other 90% is going to come from the other speakers and also from my online course, right? The other 90% will come from the other speakers and from my online course. Okay, so yes, if you subscribe to either VIP or VVIP, you don't have to pay anything to be a realtor in my company. You don't have to pay. The fees for being a realtor in my company will be completely waived, only for those who subscribe to either the VIP or the VVIP plan. However, if you decide not to subscribe and you want to be a part of the system, you can be a part of my team, but you will have to pay for registration. Okay? Eric Ihe Kwaba, thank you so much. Got value. I love that. Thank you. Okay, then. So right now, I believe there are no. Okay, there's one more question from Lemmy D. Let's just take this last question and then we can end the session. So Lemmy D, quickly ask a question and answer, and then we can end the session. How much is it to join the company? It's the minimum entry fee is 5,000 naira, but then there's also an upgraded fee of there are different levels. So the minimum lowest level is 5,000, but then there's also the level of 37,650. That's where you get all the benefits. When you subscribe to the 37,650, you get the maximum benefits from being in our company. Okay, so let me D. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for this webinar.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, for the VVIP session or category, are we going to get immediate access to the online course immediately we make payment, or we'll have to wait for the till the end of the session before getting access?
No, you'll get access, but not immediately. I don't want to give you access to the course now. I want you to have the training first. So you get all the skills from the training, and then you can most of the content that you see in the course in the training are also in the online course. But the online course is supposed to be like a refresher, and it's also supposed to be like a reference material, right? So the training comes first, and then after the training, we'll give you the link and we'll give you access to the online course.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's how it's going to
Yes,
work.
sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so at this point, I guess it's a good place to end the meeting. I'll unmute everybody, so you guys would have the opportunity to say your last words, make a shout out to appreciate everybody. You know, you could just, I've unmuted everybody now, so you guys can just, you know,
Thank you
shout
so
out
much.
and just say your thank you.
Really appreciate that. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I
God
got
bless
you
you.
very much,
Great time.
Christopher.
Great
God
time.
See you
bless
again
you.
very
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah,
Looking
talk to you all
forward
soon.
This is Hobbies Properties.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Joining
So
us
please, if
all
you're on
the
the
way
WhatsApp
from
group,
Umuahia,
if you're on the
Abia
WhatsApp
State.
group, please feel free. Please send in your comments on the group. Post your
I got
comments,
value.
your
Thanks a million.
feedback, and all of that. Post it on the group,
This
please.
is
I appreciate
wonderful.
that. Yeah. Thank you all. Take care then.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye. Talk to you some other
Thank you
time.
so much, sir.